Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems. When it comes to security systems, you need a company you can trust with a proven track record. You need one you can ask your neighbors about, one whose sign you see on homes and businesses all over town, one with the very best contracts of any national company out there. Well, you can get all of that at one place. Safety Systems. Call VFL JJ Surlis and his team this week. They will take care of you. In terms of security systems, I was out of town last week. Had no worries because I've got that Safety System sign right at the front door, one at the back door, and everybody who comes up there looking around says, I'm not going to challenge that. Safety Systems, folks. They do a great job. All right. Back with Jimmy Hyams and Ryan Callahan. I want to talk about football just quickly. I may sit this one out so people don't just continually get mad at me. But you had this week, Stuart Mandel of The Athletic put the Vols at number 10 in his preseason football rankings, behind Georgia, LSU, and Alabama. Mark Schlabach of ESPN had Tennessee at number 11, same three teams in front of them. Number 10, number 11, let's lump them both together and say top 10 because it makes it easier. We'll just make it a straightforward question, no percentages. Will Tennessee finish in the top 10 in football this year, Jimmy?
I don't think so. I think when you lose a player as great as Hendon Hooker, and I think Milton is, if he can play like they did in the Orange Bowl, they'll be fine. I don't think they'll beat Alabama on the road. I don't think they beat Georgia anywhere. And then last year we saw somebody else got them, and that somebody else was South Carolina. So I think they'll go 9-3, which I think puts them just outside the top 10.
Okay, Ryan?
I would agree just outside the top 10 seems about right if I was projecting a preseason ranking. So that seems just a touch high, but not much. I mean, I think it's a team that probably belongs in the top 15 with what they have coming back. But to me, I've still got questions, and I think most people should, about Joe Milton. How good is he? How high is his ceiling with this team? You lose some key players at receiver. You lose Byron Young on defense. You lose some guys that are going to be tough to replace. And Darnell Wright and Jerome Carvin may be at the top of the list. Yeah. Tennessee's got a little bit of a shaky offensive line situation going into the season. So all that taken as a whole looks like a top 15 team that should be expected to win about 9 games.
Yeah, see, I'm with you guys. That's exactly where I am. But top 15 I can see. Top 10 seems I want to see more of it when you consider you lost. I mean, you had a very special connection between Hooker and Tillman, then a very special connection between Hooker and Hyatt. Who is Milton's guy going to be? Does he develop that? Is he ever going to be as accurate as Hooker was? I don't see that happening. But does he develop that deep ball relationship? You know, at halftime of that Orange Bowl, I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know about this. Then the second half, when the run game got going, then everything opened up again and they were fine. The deep ball was fine. He's got the arm. I just want to know, is he going to get the chemistry with one of those guys to where you have that special electric thing that keeps the offense going that you had with Hyatt and that you had with Tillman.
The other part of that is he going to make consistently good decisions, which Hooker did.
Yes.
Milton was better last year at that, but he also was in a lot of mop-up roles where it didn't matter. So will he consistently make the right decisions like Hooker did?
I would say this, if you see Tennessee get in the top 10 this year, finish in the top 10 again, boy, I'm going to feel real good. I already feel good about Josh Heupel anyway. I like the fact that you went out and hired the guy who had a system who can coach you up as opposed to, I've got to get 25 5-stars in here. Much rather have this. So I'm already happy with where Josh Heupel's got it. I just think it's going to be a stair step up. If he keeps doing this stuff to where you don't even have a drop-off, that's going to mean you're at a different level. That's when he is one of the top 5 coaches in the league. In the nation. If he comes out and gets you back into the top 10 with all they've lost off the offense, which is what drives the bus over there, then I think you're talking very special things for the future.
Well, you won 11 last year. If you can match that, he might be the National Coach of the Year.
Right, yeah.
That'd be very impressive.
Yeah, so to me, when I look at these projections, and I know that there are fans going, yeah, we should be in the top 10, I think that's more of an impressive thing than they do. I think that's going to be a little harder than most fans think. And I think if he actually did it, it's not going to be, yeah, well, he's supposed to. No, I think that's going to take some work, and it would make me walk around with stars in my eyes thinking, man, you are set for the long haul here.
I think the temptation to put Joe Milton that high, and we'll see this at SEC Media Days too, is because you look around the SEC, there aren't as many experienced quarterbacks as Joe Milton. So he's going to naturally be one of the top 4 quarterbacks in a lot of people's eyes in this league going into the season. But when you look at where this roster was a couple years ago and even last year, you would have always projected this as the down year. That there's going to be a spike maybe in year 2 under Hendon Hooker, but there's going to be a bit of a dip, and then you get Nico to take over. And that's the other question. We don't know if Nico gets a chance at some point, but if assuming he doesn't, this is the year that's set up to be a little bit of a dip before you maybe take back off again next year.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, Deion Sanders runs off 60 players in Colorado. Michigan State, the kid who was their starting quarterback last year, up and leads for Auburn this year. Is all this movement in college football good for the sport? We'll debate that next, going back on the Sports Zone.